सर्वकर्माणि कारयति। ॐ यद्विष्णुः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुराततम्। ॐ पवित्रः पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थां गतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं स बाह्याभ्यन्तरः शुचिः। शताभिषेकं स्वाहा। ॐ पुष्पे पुष्पे महापुष्पे सुपुष्पे पुष्पसंभवे पुष्पचयापीने स्वाहा। ॐ सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। अस्त्राय फट्। ॐ ऐं फट्। ॐ ऐं फट्। ॐ ऐं फट्। कं चं सुषुप्नाकथेन परमशिवपदीयुजयामि स्वाहा। ॐ यं लिङ्गशरीरं शोषय शोषय स्वाहा। ॐ रं संकोच शरीरं दह दह स्वाहा। ॐ परमशिवं सुषुप्नाकथेन मूलशृङ्गाटमूलसोल्लसज्वल प्रज्वल प्रज्वल सोऽहं हंसः स्वाहा। आं ॐ फट् स्वाहा। आं ह्रीं क्रों यंरं शं शं शंभो हंसः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवतायाः प्राणाः इह प्राणाः। आं ह्रीं क्रों यंरं शं शं शंभो हंसः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवतायाः जीवैः स्थितः। आं ह्रीं क्रों यंरं शं शं शंभो हंसः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवतायाः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि। आं ह्रीं क्रों यंरं शं 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 ओम श्रीरामकृष्णदेवतायाः वाङ्मनश्चक्षुश्रोत्रघ्राणप्राणा इहागत्य सुखं चिरं तिष्ठन्तु स्वाहा। आं ह्रीं पीठदेवताभ्यो नमः। आं ह्रीं पीठशक्तिभ्यो नमः। ॐ सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। इत्यस्य मन्त्रस्य ब्रह्मर्षि गायत्री छन्दः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपः श्रीरामकृष्णदेवता ऋष्यादिन्यासे विनियोगः ओम ब्रह्मणे ऋषये नमः। ओम गायत्री छंदसे नमः। ओम ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्री रामकृष्णाय नमः। ऐं वरिष्ठाभ्यां नमः। रामतर्जनीभ्यां स्वाहा। मध्यमाभ्यां विषट्। गृह्णनामिकाभ्यां नमः। अनन्तनिष्ठाभ्यां विषट्। ऐं रामकृष्णकलकलपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः। ऐं विजयाय नमः। रामशिखाय विषट्। क्लीं नेत्राभ्यां विषट्। ऐं रामकृष्णकलकलपृष्ठाभ्यां अस्त्राय फट्। ॐ सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ हृदयकमलमध्ये विराजितं निर्विकल्पं सरसदखिलक्रीडातीतमेकस्वरूपं प्रकृतिविकृतिशून्यं नित्यमानन्दमूर्तिं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। निरुपममतिसूक्ष्मं निष्प्रपञ्चं निरीहं गगनसदृशमीशं सर्वभूताधिवासं त्रिगुणरहितसच्चित् ब्रह्मरूपं वरेण्यं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। वितरितमवतीर्णं ज्ञानभक्तिप्रशान्ति प्रणयगलितचित्तं जीवदुःखासहिष्णुं धृतसहजसमाधिं चिन्मयं कोमलाङ्गं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। ॐ पद्मासनं दद्यात् सहस्राच्युताङ्गितैः पाद्यं चरणयोर्दद्यात् मनस्त्वर्घ्यं निवेदयेत्। तेनामृतेनाचमनीयं स्नानीयं तेन च स्मृतम्। आकाशतत्त्वं वस्त्रं स्यात् गन्धस्यात् गन्धतत्त्वकम्। चित्तं प्रकल्पयेत् पुष्पं धूपं प्राणान् प्रकल्पयेत्। तेजस्तत्त्वं च दीपार्थं नैवेद्यं स्यात् सुधां बुधिः। अनाहतध्वनिर्घण्टा वायुतत्त्वं च चामरं। सहस्रारं भवेच्छत्रं शब्दतत्त्वं च गीतकम्। नृत्यमिन्द्रियकर्माणि चाञ्चल्यं मनसस्तथा। सुमेखलां पद्ममालां पुष्पं नानाविधं तथा। अमायाद्यै भावपुष्पैः अर्चयेत् भावगोचरम्। अमायमनहङ्कारमरागम् अमदं तथा। अमोहकमदम्भं च अद्वेषाक्षोभकौ तथा। अमात्सर्यम् अलोभं च दशपुष्पं विदुर्बुधा। अहिंसा परमं पुष्पं पुष्पमिन्द्रियनिग्रह। दयापुष्पं क्षमापुष्पं ज्ञानपुष्पं च पञ्चमम्। इति पञ्चदशैर्भावपुष्पैः सम्पूजयेत् शिवम्। ॐ ह्रीं पीठदेवताभ्यो नमः। ॐ ह्रीं पीठशक्तिभ्यो नमः। ॐ ऐं एषगन्धः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं इदं सचन्दनपुष्पं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं इदं सचन्दनपुष्पपत्रं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ ऐं एष धूपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ सुप्रकाशो महादीपो सर्वस्तिमिरापः सबाह्याभ्यन्तरज्योतिः दीपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम्। ॐ देशदीपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। गङ्गे तस्मै सोपकरणनैवेद्याय नमः। वन्दे तस्मै सोपकरणनैवेद्याय नमः। वन्दे तस्मै सोपकरणनैवेद्याय नमः। ओमैङ्गिलं सोपकरणनैवेद्यं सर्वदेवदेवीस्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय निवेदयामि। ॐ ऋतुगस्वरमसे स्वाहा। ॐ प्राणाय स्वाहा प्राणाय स्वाहा व्यानाय स्वाहा उदानाय स्वाहा समानाय स्वाहा। एष सचन्दन पुष्प गुल्बपचलाञ्जलिः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्निर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहं। परतत्त्वे सदा लीनो रामकृष्णसमाज्ञया यो धर्मस्थापनरतो वीरेशं तं नमाम्यहम्। So let us do Arati now. What happened?
Turning on the blind
Huh?
or the light.
The lights are not getting turned on.
Instead, he's turning on the blind.
Yeah, that is better. Yeah. Huh? But this is better. Natural light. Yeah. So, Kavrajika Divyananda Prana conveys her apologies for not being able to come here this morning because she has a sore throat. Yesterday her retreat went well, but there also in the end we were having we could hear that there are some problems in her voice, and she was having some cough. And then this morning about 7:30, I saw her message that she will not be able to come because she was having cough all night, sore throat and headache, and no sleep at all. So, therefore now what to do? So Yogatmananda, I told Yogatmananda, hey, you go and speak instead of her. So, yeah, something has to be done. So it is, and that Yogatmananda agreed. So it is. Why are you guys laughing?
The message is the same.
Huh?
The message is the same.
The message is the same, but the sage is different. Anyway, yes, I know it is disappointing, but the wisdom is in trying to make the best of the situation. That is what a wise person does. There is a nice Sanskrit saying, Sarvanashe samutpanne ardham tejati panditaha. That if there is a situation that you may lose everything, a wise person saves at least half of it. So, although we are not getting the full 100%, let us try to take 50%. Moreover, most of this learning, only a small part depends on the teacher. Most of it depends on the student, how we take it. So, even though Divyananda Prana is not exactly here to give her discourse, and we shall still try to see something from the wonderful topic that she has told, that the study of intelligence in Bhagavad Gita. So, let us do with our regular Bhagavad Gita salutations. Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata narayana swayam vyasena vyathitam puranamunina madhye mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayiniim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. So the study of intelligence in Bhagavad Gita. Now, we are all intelligent people, isn't it? Are you sure? No. Because we are sometimes, it feels that we are intelligent, but sometimes we behave in such a way that our intelligence had gone into deep slumber, as it were, and so we commit some stupid actions. It has become very dangerous these days, as while we were driving here, we were reading Swami Ranganathananji's book on Bhagavad Gita, some verses, 4th and 5th verse on the 7th chapter, and then he quotes there from Bertrand Russell that these days, as the science is evolving, we now have the skill to the means, but folly to the end. The folly to the ends. Means, yes, we have developed skillfully, but then how to use the means to our own good, how to achieve that in our life. And we falter there because there is the folly. And there is the skill to the means, like we know how to shoot, but we don't know where to take the aim. So we shoot it in our foot, or worse, right in our chest. So it is, that is the folly to the aim, skill to the means. That is why we come many times to repent that why did I do like this? It is, therefore, one has to be intelligent. In Sanskrit, this word is Buddhi, and it has multiple connotations depending on the context. It comes from the Sanskrit root, Buddh, means to know. So, Buddh, another word that comes from there that is also extensively used in Sanskrit literature and especially the Vedanta literature, and that is Bodh. Means to translate it in English could be say awareness or consciousness. We become conscious. So that is called Bodh. Another word is Buddhi. It has the connotation of not being just the conscious in a general way, but seeing the differences in manifestation. Both these things are seen. Both the consciousness is the common principle. Everything is pervaded with consciousness. But when it comes to Buddhi, then the things are, that spatial manifestations are seen. It is like the ocean is there in all waves. But some waves are very tiny, some are gigantic. So there is the difference in manifestations. So some are big, some are small, some like when we see in human beings or other creatures, everywhere there is this manifestation of consciousness differently. There are different capabilities that get manifested, and different understanding means to the goal gets manifested, that this is the goal. There is the different ways in which one tries to achieve that goal by containing the frittering away of the energies. So this is seen differently. That is why somebody becomes a saint, somebody becomes a so-called sinner. So it is just difference in manifestations. It is some manifest as, say, Sri Ramakrishna, some manifest as a stone. So all these are different manifestations of that consciousness, but the Buddhi varies. So, and our actions go according to this Buddhi. Buddhi is the principle by which we judge what we should do, and we take into consideration the situation, and accordingly we give direction to our life so that we achieve the goal. That is what we do. It is when we, for example, are driving, then there are distractions on the way. We don't want to get into those, otherwise we will not reach the goal. But then there is, again, we sometimes see the diversion on the road. Some road work is going on, and then we have to stop there and take another route. It is, so we have to accordingly maneuver because the situation has changed. So, but we take such a path by which we will reach the goal earliest and most safely. So, and surely, that is what our idea is. The roads could be very tricky. Sometimes you see that it is one route is very crowded, so GPS tells you to take another route. And this Google Maps has a nice way of saying, that there is a delay of 25 minutes, but you are still on the fastest route. Whatever what it may be, but that is what it announces. So, means it is, the idea is it is the most efficacious in the given situation. It is the fastest in the given situation. That is what is meant there. So, that is where the intelligence of a person comes into picture. How intelligent we are. And Bhagavad Gita is a great text for the study of this intelligent getting all messed up. Intelligence getting confused. That is how Bhagavad Gita begins actually. Arjuna is very confused as to what is the goal of life and how to get there. All the priorities in life, you cannot determine exactly what is the priority. Many times we get confused. Yesterday's retreat had some such questions. Always these questions crop up. But spiritual life, I understand, is great. But what about my career? What about earning money? How I should balance these things? So these questions do crop up. Then what about my attachment, duties? Very tricky questions, and not easy answers available, because the answers which work may not be liked by us. The problem is that there could be correct answers, but the correct answers, is somebody there?
Yeah.
Can they come? Okay. So it is when we are, going by our likes and dislikes, then the right answers, even though they are right, we don't want to go by those answers. What can be done? The answers are correct, but because I don't like them, I have to let it. And that is in somewhat philosophical words, when these likings become, morphed habits, then that is called attachments, asakti. And their actions and life then gets guided not by the intelligence but by attachments. And thus the Bhagavad Gita begins with this kind of confused and messed up intelligence. And it is a problem with all of us, that every now and then we feel confused. Should I do this or should I do that? It is, and both seem to have equal weightage. So Arjuna knows that it is actually right for him to fight this war. But war means lot of uncertainties, lot of sacrifice, and the death of a near and dear that has to happen. So although it is right to fight, but I don't want to get separated from my kith and kin, my teachers, all these grandparents and cousins and all. It is, I want to live, but I want to live with them all. So here is the big confusion. Are they going to be permanent? If you don't kill them, are they never going to die? And even if they don't kill you, are you not going to die? So you are bringing in unnecessary things there. Everything is subject to death. You cannot make, by not fighting, those people are not going to become immortal. Just because you are not killing them, it doesn't mean that they are going to become immortal. And just because you are not going to get killed by them doesn't mean that you are going to be immortal. Death is sure. A great statement comes in the second chapter that jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Our intelligence should hold on to these very cardinal truths of life, from which there is no way of swerving away. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. If something is born, then what, Teresa? Has to die. Intelligent person. Okay. Has to die. What you said? No brainer. Anyway. So, and dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Don't worry if you are going to die. You are going to be reborn. So it is just, going on a tour somewhere and coming back. No need to grieve. That is the idea. But Arjuna was so fixated on this that I am not going to fight this war, and gave a lot of arguments. So the first, bringing him back to clear understanding was to give a shock treatment. This ordinary, oh nice Arjuna, you are so good and all. At least Sri Krishna didn't think like modern psychologists, that is how one should do. It is, he gave a big slap across his face, worse than that actually. That it is, what? Arjuna, I thought you are a wise man. You fellow, you coward. Kutastva kashmalamidam vishume samupasthitam anaryajushtam aswargyam akirtikaram. Arjuna, how strong, powerful words. Difficult to actually bring that force in translation. Glaibyam asmagama partha naitattvai upapadyate shudram hridaya daurpalyam tyaktottvishta parantapa. Just shaking him. See how contrasting it was. Arjuna was expecting a pat on the back. That, oh Arjuna, he thought that Krishna would say that, oh, you are such a saintly person, Arjuna. But no, he got a big blow. But the effect was very good. The effect was he woke up from that. It is very important, and one should therefore be, if you are a friend to somebody, you should guide that person correctly. Do not be goody-goody. It doesn't help. Somebody was telling me that, that fellow was criticizing you. I said, that is much better. I can learn from those who criticize me. And from those who praise me, I have no chance of learning, you see. So we should be welcoming criticism. We had that saint Tulsidas. He says, Nindak niyare rakhiye, angana puthi bichhaye. Bring all those who slander you, criticize you. If there is no room, make a cottage for them right in your compound. Angana puthi bichhaye. And then keep them near you. What do? Nirmal kare subhaye. Bin pani sabun ke nirmal kare subhaye. Without soap, without water, they will clean your understanding. So Arjuna got that cleansing effect that by this holding. And then Krishna gave this understanding of the proper intelligence. This word Buddhi comes in Bhagavad Gita at so many places, either the word Buddhi or its synonyms. So we will take in this one lecture just a few of these, which are very, very important. That one thing is that the job of this Buddhi is to guide us in the right direction against our likes and dislikes, pulling us in various different directions. So, one such in the second chapter again, this idea comes very powerfully that so he says that look, that it is one should have this work done according to the guidance of the intelligence and not by the guidance of our likes and dislikes. So it is said here that व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि एकेह कुरु नंदन बहुशाखाह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनाम्. One of the verses in Bhagavad Gita that I tremendously love for the practical guidance it provides. It is Vyavasayatmika, means business-like attitude must be developed here. In our spiritual life, business-like means in business you see everything rationally, without letting your emotions disturb things. How much is the investment? What kind of returns I would expect? What are the chances that it may go astray? What will be the probable losses I may incur in this? And what I will get out of it? And then you do not let your emotions interfere with it. That you have to be at business. Many times this English expression is very good. I mean business. Means it is something that is serious. This spiritual life is to be taken very seriously. It is a business. You can't just have your likes, dislikes play in it. Like a person who is keeping clothings for sale. Big shop, lot of clothings. Now the owner of the business doesn't keep only that clothing which he or she likes. Otherwise, but he knows that the likings vary. So something he may not like to put on, but there would be some fellow who is going to like it and pick it up. So your own likes and dislikes cannot play there. It is business. So in spiritual life, we have to be like that, determined. Determination comes in business. Calculations, how much is the investment, how much is the returns. So, and then it has to be then one pointed attention to it. So, Lord says, in this business of spiritual life, what is the investment? What do we invest? Come on, What, Sudeshna, what is the investment? What do you invest? How much money you need to invest? Sadhana. Yeah, but no monetary investment, You have to just put in the proper work, sadhana. Moreover, what is the chance of loss? Nothing is going to be lost actually. See, that is a great business, and the return is infinite. You wanted joy in life, everything, other businesses also you did because you expected happiness. Now, this business of spiritual life takes you right at the source of joy. And thus, the returns are 100 or 200 or infinitely, multiplied. No investment, no possibility of incurring any loss. Your body, mind, they are anyway going to wither away. So make good use of them while they are there. Because if you amass lot of wealth, body, mind deteriorated, you are not going to use that money. Those who run after money, they do not have the potential to use money. Money keeps on using them. Here is our business professor, so can tell you. So it is, the money will keep on using you. Money will grow. You will be a slave to the money all the time. It is so, that work you invested is lost. You did not get anything out of it. Whereas this work is, there is no loss, there is nothing more to be invested, you don't have to take loan from bank. All that is needed to be put in, you already have it. Put the body, the mind in the right direction, and it is God-given something. You have to take loan, brains on loan, they are not available also. So therefore, this is a great business. So, and Ekeha Gurunandana, it is Eka, this Buddhi needs only one-pointedness. Otherwise, Bahushakha Yanantascha Buddhayo Avyavasayinam. If you do not have this one-pointed business-like attitude, then there will be thousands, infinitely many anantaha, infinitely many branches in which it will get filtered away. So, therefore, Arjuna, remember this. Then it says that this is how one should work. Dure nahi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya. A great statement that merely doing work out of certain desires, that is much lower than in doing the work with this buddhi, means the understanding, awareness of the goal, and directing your work to that. That is buddhi, applying buddhi. Just any activity doesn't become work. If it is going to fulfill some end, then that gets called work. It is, if somebody is just rubbing like that, of course it is an activity. Are you going to pay that fellow for it? No, you don't get paid for that. So it is not the work. Work is some activity that is geared to a desirable result. Otherwise, it is not work. So it is said here, Durena hi avaram karma, by far the actions done with this intelligence, buddhi, they are far superior than the mere meaningless, aimless activity. Very important idea. Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yogat. Buddhi yoga, compared to buddhi yoga, this work is ordinary work that is not being done with any direction to it. It is useless. If you are on a journey of a boat and there is no rudder to the boat, then you will be just drifted by the winds here and there. Very unlikely that you will meet the destination. So therefore, buddhi yoga, very important. So that is what is called yoga actually. That connect everything. When you connect the work to the goal, it becomes karma yoga. When you connect your feelings or love to the goal, it becomes bhakti yoga. When you connect your discerning faculty to the goal, it becomes jnana yoga. And when you connect your faculty of concentration to the goal, it becomes the dhyana yoga or raja yoga. So buddhi is explained here like this, that buddhi yoga. And then it is told further that kripanaha phalahetavaha. Arjuna is told, buddhau sharanam anvichha kripanaha phalahetavaha, that surrender therefore to buddhi. No, I don't want to surrender to anybody. Well, if you surrender to buddhi, at least you are surrendering to something intelligence. Otherwise, you are already surrendering to stupidity. You have the choice to surrender to stupidity or to surrender to intelligence. So let us be intelligent and surrender to intelligence. Buddhau sharanam anvichha kripanaha phalahetavaha. This is again a blow. The teachings are to be given with that this is the right, and then opposite to it is terrible. Those word kripana is a very strongly denouncing word. Kripana means you have something that is useful. It is grouchy or miserly. That person is called kripana. Means has lot of things, but neither he uses nor lets others use it. Just it is lying there. You know the story of that a dog standing on the haystack, and a cow wants to come and eat that hay, but the dog is not letting the cow come close, barking and barking. So the cow says, "You fellow, I don't understand this miserliness. You are not eating it. It is not the food for dogs. And you are not letting me eat it." So that is this Kripana that is not using this great wealth of intelligence. We have the intelligence, but it is dormant, as good as not having it. So it is, let us make use of it and connect our actions to the intelligence. Then we hear this word, many times it comes, of course, but a very important message about it is that the work, what should be done, what is duty, what is not duty, somewhat intricate or very, very complex questions. What is my duty? It is, and because of our attachments, it becomes really very complicated. Things are already complicated, and then it becomes confusion, confounded because of our attachments. So, because of attachment, what is not my duty appears to be my duty. And what is my duty seems to be not my duty. Like having a human body, all sages tell that your duty is to realize God. But no, that doesn't appear to be my duty. The primary duty in life is to realize God. That is what human body is for. That doesn't sound right. Then, well, my duty is to this, to this, to this, to this. You go on multiplying that. All actually getting more and more bound and more deluded. That appears to be my duty. It is like I have to raise my children, I have to do this for my wife, for husband, I have to do all this, this is my duty. Are you really doing it for them or for your satisfaction? You have to see that, And because of attachment one does it, but then gives a nice label to it, that it is out of my sense of duty for my children, I am doing it. And now the children, they grow up, still the parents don't let them go. My duty, I have to help them. Goes on. Then I have to look after my grandchildren. Never ending, All these things appear to be duties. And we forget what really the duty is. Really the duty is what Deepak, isn't it? The duty is to realize the divinity. That is the primary duty. Whatever distracts us from that is actually an obstruction to that duty. But because of the confused understanding, we start calling it as my duty. It is not so. One has to keep it in mind. And in this 4th chapter, And therefore there is a wonderful illuminating discussion on this. Bhagavad Gita is, one has to remember, is a very, very practical book. Given on the battlefield, when the battle is about to, start, the weapons have been already unsheathed. Is that the time to talk idle philosophy? Only the intensely practical things can be discussed there, in that situation. Intensely practical, because the situation is like that, very tense, and one has to be therefore intense there. Quick teachings have to be given. So, therefore it does not indulge in idle philosophy anywhere. That is the beauty of Vedanta, and especially Bhagavad Gita, that it is here and now. You have to take the decision here and now. Decision is to be taken on the ground. The battle is ongoing. So it is at that situation now, see what is that you have to do. The goal is, everybody agrees, but just here, theoretical agreement. God realization is the duty in life. That let that become functional. One of our great Swamis used to say that we have our brain as the structural part of the body. The brain, do you get it, Bonnie? It is a structural part of the body. Let it become a functional part of the body. Just structural part of the body is not enough, it is just lying like that. So let it become functional part of the body. So that is Buddhi. It is awaken it. So it says this. It is a tricky thing, because we get involved into so many, and then we hesitate to come out of those bondages. And we feel to remain in bondage is our duty. Just things are turned on their head. To get liberated is our duty, or getting bound is our duty. The answer is again no-brainer, isn't it? But in practical field, we do opposite, and therefore, what is my duty, what is not my duty, and what is the right way of performing it? These questions are dealt in the 4th chapter. These are very important verses in Bhagavad Gita, and some minor interpretations, differences are there between commentators, but more or less the message is same, that he says, Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayopi atra mohitaha. This is the 16th verse of the 4th chapter. Kim karma kim akarma iti. Confused intellect. What is to be done and what is not to be done, and what is no work at all. Kavayo means otherwise tremendously intelligent. Means they are big scientists, tremendous engineers, but that intellect has, as it were, is not working to determine the goal of life and guide the actions in the right direction. And therefore, there is this confusion that kavayo api atra mohitaha. Mohitaha means deluded and confused, even though they are so-called learned people. It is why they are why are they deluded? Because of the different attractions in life. So, and Lord says, let me tell you, again this word comes there, Buddhi, Bodhavyam. So, properly understand, Karmano api Bodhavyam, Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha, Akarmanascha Bodhavyam, Gahana Karmano gatihi. See, you have to take it very seriously, because your actions determine where you will be going. So guide them properly. Even if your thought is to say go to Florida, and you actually boarded the flight to California, where are you going to end up? Yeah, so exactly, isn't it, Jitendra? You had the idea, okay, I want to go to Florida, and then went and boarded the flight to California. So that is how it is, the actions determine. That is why many psychologists, they become behaviorologists. Why? Because it is the behavior that matters. So let us change the behavior. Of course, the problem with that is you cannot change the behavior unless you change that which guides the behavior. So therefore, he says, know exactly what is the proper action. Karmano api bodhavyam. What you need to do, know that. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. Here there is some difference between the commentators. Shankaracharya says that vikarmana means that which should not be done. It is opposite karma, and opposite of it is vikarma. But some commentators also interpret it as vishesha karma. V means some special activities that you take up. That also is to be understood. Akarmanascha bodhavyam. There is again difference in the some commentators. But akarma, according to Shankaracharya, is that when you realize the truth, then you are the self. You now are identified with the Supreme Consciousness. It is. And so you cannot be doing any action now. You are not capable of doing any action. So although drishyate, he says there, Shankaracharya says, drishyate natu tat karma. A very beautiful phrase, you know. It appears that the fellow is doing work, but actually is not doing anything. It is the body and the mind is doing. I am not the body and the mind. And so that person says, I have not done anything. Of course, it cannot be done hypocritically. That say somebody will go and shoot somebody. My hands and the gun that did it, I didn't do. That is just a hypocrisy. That is not what is meant. But that I am not the doer. It is God who does everything. So that is, although others see it as action, is not doing any action. Vivekananda, everybody sees how much work he is doing. A cyclonic monk, if one of his epithets is a cyclonic monk, but his awareness is God alone is real. He says, I have no work under the sun. no work at all, because that is his awareness. That is called a karma. So, but the confusion is here when we just start sitting, not doing anything. We feel that we are not doing anything. No, you are still having ego. Your thoughts are going on. So you are doing an action. It is. So, next verse says here that karmani akarmaya pashet akarmani cha karmaya sa buddhiman manusyeshu sa yuktah sa krishna karmakrit. A great statement by Lord that it is who is the intelligent person? Sa buddhiman manusyeshu, amongst the human beings, this person is the intelligent persons. By implication, others are okay. You know, you know that our Adishwarananda's story. You know, Ginny, yeah. A bird was there in that pet shop, and a lady was passing there through that, and then that bird said, Jenny, you are ugly. And Jenny said, went to the shop, angrily said, hey, this bird, and why does it say like that? Stop it! I won't tolerate that bird calling me ugly. Then the owner said, okay, we will train it, don't worry. Next day, Ginny was going again, and the bird again, Ginny, you are ugly. She got so upset. Again went to the shop, told the owner, next time if this bird says like that, I am going to kill that bird. And next day, that was the route that Jenny used to go every day. So Jenny was going again on that route. And then again the bird said, Jenny, well, you know. Well, you know. So it is, this is told here that that person who understands what is action, what is not action, and what is inaction. So that person is the intelligent person. By implication, like that Jenny understood by implication what is being meant by that bird. So here it is said by implication that those who do not understand it or implement it like that are devoid of intelligence. So it is, they are not buddhiman. So what is this? In every seeming action, it is really the self is not acting at all. It is all pervading everywhere, and therefore has no activity. One has to see what acts and what doesn't act. That see, you are self, you do not act. And the body, the mind, the ego, they always act. It is. So, they are not inactive. It is impossible to keep them inactive. So, you have to guide their capabilities of activity in the right direction. So, that is how an intelligent person, that this is the proper way. This is something that is prohibited. You cannot go there. Impossible. I told you many times, I still remember that beautiful sign, very effective sign at the crocodile pond. There is a crocodile pond, and people should not go and swim there. So there is a signboard, swimming strictly prohibited. But that is not that effective. They are small sub-sign, subtitle there is very effective. Survivors will be prosecuted. If somebody reads it, nobody is going to then go into the waters. So it is like that Buddhiman, that if you do something that is not right, that is the result will be that you will get caught in it. That is actions which are against your path. Suppose you have a digression, okay, you can come back again. But if you are to go to the east and you are driving at 100 miles to the west, now it is you are doing exactly opposite of what you are doing. So you are not Buddhiman there. So one has to therefore know what is Buddhiman and what is not Buddhiman. So in Bhagavad Gita again this idea comes in the 7th chapter. You see this, the word Buddhi comes again and again earlier also, but in the 7th chapter you see this, that we were actually reading that so there the expression there is that look, I am now going to give you the knowledge, knowing which you will get out of this delusion, will never get deluded again. So should we want that knowledge or not? One must decide. What? Do you want to get deluded, Rajgopal? Or want to come out of delusion? Come. So this is the actions prescribed for that. What I am going to give you that knowledge by which you will not get deluded anymore. So also that knowledge is such that yad jnatva, knowing that nothing remains further to be known. So an intelligent person should go for that knowledge. It is, otherwise we go for knowing this and then we keep on in that direction and just do not know anything else because I am focused on that. It is I was talking to Tukaram Hatwar, a wonderful engineer and scientist, that we were talking about having architects. He asked me, why did you not take up that architect? And then I said, he is a very good architect, but his specialization is this. And then he said, well, in architecture also there are specializations. Well, in every field there is specialization. And then you know only that specialization, nothing else. So it is, there are architects for, say, airports, there are architects for bridges, there are architects for roads, architects for hospitals, architects that build colleges and universities and all that. Again there is subdivisions. further super specialities. They give a nice name, super speciality. What it actually means is, I don't know anything beyond this. That is the super speciality. So, super specialities means only they are doing the university construction works, but only the chemistry lab they are specialists in. They don't know about the other things. So that is how, I am not exaggerating, friends, this is actually the situation. So this kind of knowledge makes you know something that is changing and is very limited. But this knowledge about life makes you know everything, knowing which nothing remains to be known. So that is what an intelligent person should opt for. Swami Vivekananda says that developing concentration is like having a searchlight. And then with that, I can throw that searchlight on any subject, and then I know that subject. It is, so that is what is to be developed. If we otherwise collect lot of information, but do not know which information to be put where, and do not have the wisdom, then that is, the intellect is not going to be there. So it is, he says here that, know that I am in everything. So he uses this term here, that he doesn't use the word Buddhi here. He says, but similar, that understand this, know this, that the God is in everything as its true nature. And you cannot get away from God. Even if you try, you cannot get away from God. In that Bhagavatam class on Friday, we were discussing that just as, a pot made of gold, nice pot made of gold, does the pot has a choice to get away from gold? No, what we tell? Can that pot run away from gold? No, I don't want like. No, it is not possible for. So we don't have the choice to get away from God. So this is what an intelligent person should remember. And that is my true nature, and I have to realize it, experience it. So we have taken up a few points, about study of intelligence that Pravrajika Divyananda Prana was going to speak about. So when she said, then I sat and thought about, and then collected a few points to speak about. So it is going round and round and round, that's it, Okay. So anyway, if you have any questions, we can discuss these. Any questions?
So Maharaj, how you consolidate your concentration?
Well, that is what the meditation, focusing, and main thing is removing the distractions. You know that story about that Dronacharya, the teacher of archery. He was taking a test of these young students from this royal clan. And then there was a bird perched, kept, wooden bird kept on the tree. And the test was, you have to pierce the eye of that bird. So he, one after another, the elders first, youngers later, like that, they were coming to do the, wait, don't shoot, tell me first. The teacher would say, Dronacharya, what do you see, tell me, before shooting? Oh, well, I see all my cousins, friends here. I see the tree, I see you also. I see the bird also. I see, okay, don't shoot. Because you are seeing so many things. You are seeing me also. Don't shoot. Where the arrow will go, who knows? So, remove the distractions. Then, and this is a matter not that you will achieve just like that, matter of practice. That is what our wise Sudeshna said, sadhana. It is, sadhana is to be performed and diligently to be done with business-like attitude. So, that is how one will develop that concentration.
How many days, Maharaj?
How many days? How many days? Well, the one who asked this question is likely to take many births, but doesn't matter, it will happen one day. It is, how many days is not the question at all. But there is this capability. And this capability you see when you like something, then you automatically get concentrated on that alone. Now, this is, the faculty is there, but it is enslaved to likes and dislikes. You like something, that those who are given to some game, football or say baseball and or whatever, basketballs, they don't play, they just watch the game and root for some club, and then are terribly fascinated with that, and so much focused that it is said that a man was watching it, and then his son came rushing in the stadium to tell Dad, oh, Dad, Mom met an accident, she is in ICU, just somebody to please come quickly, she is in a very serious condition. But this man said, I will give you a worse news. Our Green Bay Packers are just losing, you see. So it is the whole attention is on that, because that is, everything else is not important in life. Only that football club is all that is important. What I mean to say, so the faculty of concentration is with us. Only it is to be brought under our control so that we can use it wherever we want. So that is the meditation. Yes, Deepak?
Maharaj, I was listening to all the things and I was thinking about the irony of a regular person's life. A person grows up actually in the growing stages. They come with a one paradigm. They basically have to educate themselves. They have to get a job. They have to get a family, blah, blah, blah. They go on. Yeah. And all of a sudden, they basically bring someone into their life. They get married. They bring someone into their life. Now in midstream, all of a sudden they say, wait a minute. This is all Maya. This is attachment. So now all of a sudden you're stuck. You brought someone into the world. It is your responsibility as a family person to make sure that you provide for the person so that that person will grow up. All those things. At midstream, when you say, oh, that's all Maya, you have to detach yourself. You are kind of stuck to the rock and a hard place.
See, you have to do duty without attachment. And that is why Sri Ramakrishna said that, you didn't bring first of all anybody in the world. You didn't go to do that to bring anybody in the world. You were just driven by your passions and something happened. Now, okay, your responsibility is only to see that that is taken care of, but no attachment. The first thing is that, nobody is my child. They are not my children. Are they? How much control do you have on them? Sometimes it is said that after 18, the child is not in my control. As if before 18 they were under your control. It is because they are not yours. Nobody is mine. Therefore, Sri Ramakrishna said, doing work does not bind you. Do your duty in the world. That is what the world is. Everybody does the duty. But keep the mind on God. You are in this world, everybody is in the world, and you said midstream. Yes, the boat is in the midstream. But does it mean that the boat is in water is very good, but if the water is in the boat, so you are in the world, fine, but let not the world be in you. Right. Yes, make sure that it is. Very good, A nice question. Thank you. Any other question here? Any question on the web?
Yes, Maharaj, there are two questions.
Two questions.
From Absolute.
From Absolute?
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah, last time.
But I can give only relative answers. Hi Absolute, how are you?
So question, self seems a stable being and mind, body, world appears in that. But the vastness to which self being named does not feel in living as that. It rather seems one stable being localized in body. Why?
Well, nobody is localized in body. It feels like that because of our identification with body, mind and all that. It is like you have, say, the reflection of moon in a pool. Now, is moon localized in that pool? It is reflected in pool, that's all. You cannot catch the moon in that pool and say, let me take this moon home. No, and that is not possible. The moon is not localized. So the self is not localized, it is everywhere. So this is not actually the truth that it is localized. It feels like that because of ignorance, Our feelings are like that. You say that, well, this is mine. It feels like that. This is my house. Is it right? I mean, it is factually, it is completely incorrect to say that it is my house. The cockroaches and the mice living there, they have a better right than you have, because you go out of the house. They don't. They remain nicely there. So it is. So it feels doesn't mean that it is right.
Second question, what are enemies of mind which makes one away from one's true nature, and how to maintain oneself in true nature while mind and intellect and situation drives to get away from true nature to six ripus?
Well, the mind and all our faculties, and they therefore need training. and you cannot discard them, and they are the instruments, and so you have to guide those. When one is having the perception of multiplicity, then there is always mind and body involved. For a spiritual aspirant, therefore, the job is to turn that mind and body in the right direction. It is, the self is not involved in any of these, but our perceptions are through mind and body, and so therefore you have to direct the mind and body so that you can see that truth in life. Any other questions? So thank you for absolute questions. I can give only relative answers. Thank you, absolute. So today I requested Rashmi to sing some songs before we conclude. Who else wants to sing? Vittal, do you want to sing? No.
This is a
Joe, do you want to sing? Some Lakota song?
So this is a bhajan in praise of Holy
Hey,
Mother.
hey, shh.
शारदा जग जननी आई, सकल जगत का हरने भाई। शारदा जग जननी आई, सकल जगत का हरने भाई। दीन दुखी और पापी तापी सब जन का करने उद्धार। दीन दुखी और पापी तापी सब जन का करने उद्धार। शारदा जग जननी आई, सकल जगत का हरने भार। शारदा जग जननी आई, तत्व तुम्हारा अगम अगोचर, नाम रूप सीमा के पार। तत्व तुम्हारा अगम अगोचर, नाम रूप सीमा के पार। ब्रह्ममयी निज रूप छिपाकर आई हो तुम बन साकार। ब्रह्ममयी निज रूप छिपाकर आई हो तुम बन साकार। शारदा जग जननी आई, सकल जगत का हरने भार। शारदा जग जननी आई, पावन मंगल रूप धरा है, कमल नयन में प्रेम अपार। पावन मंगल रूप धरा है, कमल नयन में प्रेम अपार। कृपा दृष्टि दुख ताप मिटावे, में सिंधु कृपा दृष्टि दुख ताप मिटावे, में सिंचे अमृत धार। शारदा जग जननी आई, सकल जगत का हरने भार। शारदा जग जननी आई, गुण अवगुण का भेद नहीं है, पाप पुण्य का नहीं विचार। गुण अवगुण का भेद नहीं है, पाप पुण्य का नहीं विचार। माँ कह जो भी शरणागत हो, करती हो तक्षण स्वीकार। माँ कह जो भी शरणागत हो, करती हो तक्षण स्वीकार। शारदा जग जननी आई, सकल जगत का हरने भार। शारदा जग जननी आई, तेरी ही करुणा से माँ अब आन पड़ा हूँ तेरे द्वार। तेरी ही करुणा से माँ अब आन पड़ा हूँ तेरे द्वार। भव सागर से पार करो माँ, दर्शन देकर अब की बार। भव सागर से पार करो माँ, दर्शन देकर अब की बार। शारदा जग जननी आई, सकल जगत का हरने भार। शारदा जग जननी आई, शारदा जग जननी आई। शारदा जग जननी आई।
Very good. So let us say Brahmarpanam and go for our lunch. Om Brahmarpanam Brahmavir Brahmanam Brahmanahutam Brahmaivate Nagantavyam Brahmakarma Samadhina. Hari Om Tat Sat.
O Lord,
Please accept our offerings, bless us, make us pure and all-loving. Make we not accuse, demand or complain, but love, respect and cooperate with all. Make we not find faults with others, but try to find our own faults. Make we not treat others as strangers, but learn to make all our own. Make we feel the whole world to your own. Peace, peace, peace be unto
peace
all.
be unto us, peace be unto all. Om Shan Shan Shanti.